Umlazi remains the place to be in as far as the 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup, and things are heating up at the Kings Wellington Stadium as the scramble for places is very much alive and kicking, with sides, of course, battling it out throughout the day here. And Group B, the focus of the day, was the defending champion Zambia in what is some cold conditions out in Durban, where the weather has played a part in keeping most of the fans away. We've had the least fans today as we've had throughout the tournament thus far, but the football remains a huge talking point. There are those that love the game, and no matter the weather, that will turn out and ensure that they are loud and proud. And we take our hats off to the Malawian fans who've come through, and they were great in the first game against the Zambians, where Malawi walked away 1-0 winners a few days ago. They're back here hoping to see their side maintain 100% record in their efforts to march on and grab 6 points. William Shaw is sitting alongside me. It's a lovely sight to see this, William.
Listen, I just don't believe it that the numbers are still like that. I mean, it's not only cold, but it's raining and also a little bit windy in the process. So I can imagine how challenging it is for anybody to come out of the house. But they're here, like you said, definitely we salute them.
Well, let's look back at the time then as to how these sides got to where they are. In as far as the Seychelles, who were up against the Comoros in the opening game. Comoros did all of the positive stuff here, and from a Seychelles point of view in the red, it was about the defensive frailties of the day where they were heavily exposed.
Clearly you can see that the team that is not at the other team's levels, as far as their playing ability, but you know what, they got the hearts, that's why they're here, and who knows what can happen. We've seen surprises, and just look into this stunning goal from Yusuf with a half volley.
Again, it was the Comoros with all the running, scoring some stunning goals, and they went down, they were to score one more of the Comoros, just to show the different types of goals that the Seychelles were conceding on the day. This is the third and last, and what was a disappointing start to the tournament for the men in red.
And be reminded, I'm sure they weren't really that disappointed, because that has been the story, unfortunately.
Well, for Malawi, from a corner where they were on the up and up in the first game, especially the first half of the first game against the Zambians, they got the own goal in their favor and marched on to pick up the 3 points that sees them now, of course, level on points with the likes of Comoros and Zambia. But most importantly, they do have a game in the hand. Favorites against the Seychelles to pick up the 3 points in the fixture that will be coming up. So this a crucial game for Malawi. Here are the results from earlier on in the day. Then Zambia did the business against the Comoros, who tried to throw a spanner in the works. But for Malawi, Seychelles, this is the all-important game here, where Malawi could grab the group by the scruff of the neck if they are able to do the goods in, of course, getting the points that matter. They have fans that have packed out the main grandstand here, that are passionate, that are looking forward to a good showing from the coach, Patrick Mabedi, as well as his side, who spoke to William Chong a little bit earlier, as well as Vivian Both, the coach of the Seychelles.
Between you and me, you know the challenges of the up and down swing of form after a great game. How have you prepared your boys that doesn't happen?
Yeah, it is very important. Most of the time when the team won, players tend to relax, and obviously they forgot that they need to keep getting hungry and still hunting. So that's only worry that we have today. But psychologically, I think we try to work with them and make them understand, and play completely try also to make them aware that today it's a different game. So they must not relax, and they need to make sure that they don't undermine our opponents, and we need to respect them and go and do our job.
Great performance, of course, against Zambia in that first game, but I'm sure as a coach, you always think ahead to see if there's anything else that you can add to the beautiful performance to help the team win another game.
Absolutely, I think it's very important. It's past now, it's gone. We did well, but today is a different game. It's a challenge, and we know Seychelles, they're also a very good team. We just need to go there and try to play according to our instructions, and if the players execute it properly, I don't see any problem. But I'm worried only about the mental aspect, that they must not undermine them. They just need to go all out and try to do their best and try to even double the effort than before.
Coach, it's a big, long learning curve for you. And what are some of the lessons that you're picking up in this tournament already going forward?
As the last game, I don't know what happened to our boys, but we did not play according to the plan that we come to play with.
Eswatini was not given a chance in their game against Namibia. And I'm sure a lot of people don't give you a chance as well, but Eswatini did it. I'm sure you can pull a surprise for us.
Against Malawi, like we will be playing today, our boys have to step up the game, and we will definitely go for counter-attack. As we have seen Malawi playing, if we open a lot, we'll be in trouble.
Now, in what areas do you expect your boys to step up?
In the determination and the will to play, and even to stay compact so that we can have a good result.
Coach, thanks very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Top spot in Group B of the 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup is up for grabs as Malawi look for 2 wins in 2, now facing Seychelles at the Kingswell Stadium in Umlazi. They've met on one occasion in the past, these two nations in the COSAFA Cup. It was a 3-0 win for Malawi, who will be hoping for likewise something similar in the encounter here today, in their hopes, of course, to please their fans out in the stands and, of course, grab the group by the scruff of the neck, a group that does have, keep in mind, the defending champions in Zambia. So, William Shaw went to Port Nia. We heard from the Seychelles coach and Vivian both saying, well, he's hoping his side up the ante and look for the upset that could very well happen. As you know, this game is full of funny moments.
What I like about him is his analysis, of course, is that he's not going to open it up, but he's going to stay compact and be disciplined and play in transition. That, for me, is a coach who's clear about what the strength of his team is. So we only hope that can be practical in the field of play.
So they'll look to not only frustrate the 11 on the field, but frustrate the 12th man here outside in the stands. And as far as the community of Malawi and their presence within the borders of South Africa, it's true, it's loud, and it's evident out in the stands, and more fans are making their way in here. And well, one has to wonder if the Seychelles have any fans at all out in these stands here, as this game is moments from getting underway. Both of them coming out the tunnel now. Huge game, the prospect of how things could turn out ahead of the last round of matches. Keeping in mind, Seychelles still have to play Zambia. Comoros still have to play against Malawi. So we could be a long way from deciding who from this group goes through as the side that, of course, finishes top of the group, and still who from this group could go through as the best second place finishers. Time now for the national anthems.
Please stand as you are for the national anthem of Seychelles.
Well, Seychelles in with only one win in their history. In the COSAFA Cup, it came against Mauritius, but it did come. They've drawn 6, lost 24, conceding, well, 70 thus far. That's just over 30 matches played for the Seychelles, so you'll understand why Malawi are seen as the favourites coming into this match, what with their rich history where they've well, done well enough to, if not win the COSAFA, go on to go win the SACAFA out in the east in that regional tournament on a few occasions as the guest nation. What they'd love to do, Malawi, with their rich history and so many players have contributed to the top flight of Southern African football, is come out tops and be crowned champions of Southern Africa. That's the name of the game as they come into this tournament here for the second round of matches. And in their starting lineup, no changes at all. But Aaron, operating in the heart of midfield, was terribly impressive. Out in the attack, they looked to the likes of Kumwembe as well as Kawanga to come good from a goal-scoring point of view.
Was very impressed with Saizi down the right-hand side of the wing-back and pushing forward, delivering crosses, but also drawing so far deep to be able to pick up the ball. It's a team that is full of hard workers. Yes, Aaron, the main one, obviously, breaking down the defense from the opposition.
And for the Seychelles here, they will line up with a few changes. Coming into the squad, Balete comes into the heart of their defense, while Camille will take up a position as a forward on the right side, along with Mote and Laprosse, making up the front three in attack.
As it was the case in their first game, Lamrosa up front painted a very long figure with most of the players failing to reach him. So combinations that he did were hardly existing. Let's hope that will change today.
Well, the match referee, Mr. Ansudani from Comoros, assisted by Mr. Baloe from Mozambique and Mr. Sitwale from South Africa. Fourth official is Bingosi Lamini from Eswatini. Well, Patrick Mabedi, amongst a long line of former greats in the way of players that have represented Malawi, who now leads them, and he'll know just how perfectly set the scene is for his side, especially following that great start against Zambia.
Which the concern was from me, has it been able to work on the players' mentality to not underestimate the Seychelles side?
Vivian Boss, well, you would have heard him speaking to William Shongo before this match got underway, then very much aware of the challenges that lie ahead of his side here. The main ingredient for their success, if they are to have success, will lie on discipline for the men in blue. Seychelles in blue, attacking the goal to the right of your picture. Malawi in the red, attacking the goal to the left. For the Seychelles, who have been involved in this tournament, every tournament since the year 2005, they've never gotten beyond the group stage. Every year that they have been involved in this tournament. The last game was a group stage game against the Comoros last year, that is, where they did lose out 2-1 to the Comoros. That's how they ended the tournament last year. They started off this year's tournament by losing to the Comoros again with a 3-0 scoreline. Last year they also did lose out to Angola, the 3-0 scoreline, and Botswana. So in last year's tournament they only managed one goal. And that was in the 2-1 loss to the Comoros. They look to get her in the games that remain here. Yet to find the back of the net. They didn't come close in the game against Comoros in opening this year's tournament. Early on here with the man down. Coming in with the challenge. The ever-eager Kawanga trying to win it as high as possible for the Malawians. Connecting with the opponent's shin in the end. Also what we will watch with the keen interest is the intensity at the start from the likes of Kaonga, and that being Malawi in their efforts to try and set the tone here, and how Seychelles in the opening 15-20 will look to manage the eagerness that may come from Malawi, who want the good start and to hit the ground running.
The mental strength, I mean, from both sides, not only with the Seychelles, but Malawi also. I think they will want to make their presence felt right from the onset that they mean business. And it's important to not allow Seychelles to settle into any form of a rhythm that they would like to build from.
Well, for the Malawian delegates out in the VIP area, they'll know they're up against the Seychelles side here that has lost their last 4 COSAFA Cup games in a row. Their last game where they didn't lose was against Mozambique here in Durban back in 2019, where they played to a 0-0 scoreline. Problems here, as they may be forced into the early substitution. That Mark Fish amongst those watching on.
Sudesh alongside him. And these are the people that have been assigned analyzing the overall competition to see if there's any new trends.
Yep. He's been involved with the COSAFA management for a while now. Mark Fish last year spent some time with them at the COSAFA beach soccer, including the schools out in Malawi and down in Port Elizabeth. Did impress me, Mark Fish, as far as his fitness levels last year with him. You might be a little bit jealous of this. He not only played a beach soccer match, which was terribly taxing, but a few days later, I think 2 or 3 days later, he was involved in a triathlon right here in Durban. Involved a few Ks of swimming, a few Ks of running, and cycling. Completed it with no problem. So on the day after, it didn't look like he was struggling at all.
Listen, he's a different animal. I don't think it's normal. I mean, coaches that I played for were always telling him, slow down, because each time he picks up the ball in defense, he'll run through the middle, and before you know what's happening, he's scoring goal the other end. Coaches were always like, calm down, stay. You know, when he talks to conditioning, I think he's high up there. I don't think he even trained for it. It was natural for him.
And that's still worth mentioning here, as this looks serious now. From a Seychelles point of view, it's Hopridge that, in fact, in pain here. Doesn't look as though he will be able to continue, so they will be forced into the change. Just a couple of minutes, he would have lost it out in that field, so a spanner thrown in the works here for the Seychelles. They've got 10 on the field for the time being. Still need to warm some more up and get the replacement ready. Now, space on this near side as Malawi push onto the front foot for the first time in this match. As soon as they do, their supporters find their voice, the ball in. Early chance going the way of Malawi. Out for the goal kick. You'd think they're playing at home, Malawi, with the way their supporters are going on the right.
Kumwembe, always at the end of most of the crosses, is very dangerous. Maybe he doesn't score as often, but I'm telling you, when you talk presence, he's one of those strikers that will put defenders under all sorts of pressure, forcing errors. Reminds me of the late Ricky Puka. I don't know if you were there when he came to South Africa, also from Malawi, the striker at Kaiser Chiefs.
Now, to get the pieces here, the Seychelles in a better touch could have led to a chance at goal. Didn't quite work out for them. But no, not to your question, Sean, but over the years, Malawi has given us many footballers to enjoy and lord over.
Tawali is one of
Dennis Tawali, known as Chirwali as well in his earlier days.
Jack Chimangwane, I played alongside the Kaiser Chiefs. Finally, Ntali. Many more. I mean, Cosmos almost had a full team of players from Malawi.
You mentioned Jack Chimangwane?
Yeah.
Lawrence Wire? In a period, of course, we spoke of at length a few days ago as a former player and coach. Joseph Kamwendo, another. Peter Mponda, most recently. Now, good hard running on this near side and after the corner. Malawi looking to start with an intensity we expected. That's what they did so well against the Zambians. Keep in mind, for those of you that may have missed that game, it's the intensity and the attacking intent that gave them the slight upper hand that led to that own goal that was the differentiating factor at the end of that game.
It is one of the best ways to try and force errors from your defending team. But just applying pressure alone, that can help you provoke them into where they can be forced into errors.
Takes the first here for the Seychelles. They stay on the front foot and will have the throw in inside the final third. Will Malawi. Well, to get the ball in, out for the goal kick this time. So a bit of a breather for the Seychelles. They would have expected this. One would think the Seychelles, the bright start for Malawi in the opening 10-15. It's all about weathering the storm for the men in blue.
Saizi. This is what I like about him. Tactically, he can anticipate what's more likely to happen in the right box. Remember, he plays as a wide attacking player on the right hand side, but look where he nearly made contact with the ball in the box. That for me, and that takes a lot of energy to be able to work that space or the line up and down and still attack the box every now and then.
Was one of the more impressive players in the game against Zambia. Was Robert Saizi, the Bangwe All-Stars man. Played 82 minutes of that opening game against the Zambians. My, how impressive they were. There's Aaron with the touch backwards. Playing just in front of the back four. Another that was impressive in that opening game, wearing the number 6 on his back.
Breaking down the opposition's attack. Bringing a bit of creativity as well in delivering to the front lines.
Good hustle and winning it back in the middle of the park here. As they look to push on Malawi. Idana with the ball to the near side. Oh, shot from a long way out. Straight up keeper. Comfortable pickup by Desperance in the end, but more like what's expected of Malawi from those out in the stands.
You got the crowd in your favor, backing you. You've got to give them something to shout about. And this is what Nkoma has done here. But yes, it was from some range. But still, keep it in mind that the field is a little bit greasy. So it's not being ambitious by taking it so far. There's always that chance that might slip past the goalkeeper because it's skied.
Plays for Nyasa big bullets amongst a couple of players. Just a couple that play for Nyasa big bullets inside the starting 11. There's a few more out on the bench that represents one of the most popular clubs to have come out of Malawi over the years.
Now, we talk of those more players that were featured here in South Africa. Here in Devon, there used to be one that played for Pushpa, Bennett Gondo. And in the 80s, of course. And I'm just trying to think, I wonder if he's still alive. If he is, why Bennett used to trouble me. Left-footed, speed and delivering crosses. And then there was Chancer Gondo, who played for Malawi Dominance.
Yellow card here for Mathiot. Seychelles is very much on the back foot here inside the opening 10 minutes.
Half ground it has been.
It really hasn't. It really has been. Attackers against defenders so far.
Good usage of the ball, creating the width. Good off the ball runs as well. Once again, yes, they might seem like they're at it right now, the Seychelles, but the longer it takes on the back foot might wear them down. That's why sometimes you see players or a team losing concentration and misplacing their passes and coming second best in situations because of all the work they've been doing, chasing around. It does catch up with you.
That's where the intensity, I think, that we've seen Malawi start this game with is so impressive. They've kept it moving, but at an interesting pace where it's nice and quick. It's taxing, it's asking questions of the opposition. They've looked to hit them on the left and the right. They've also try something a little different where they spread it out and try and get them to open up when they drop deep. The men from the Seychelles.
Taking into account these are not fully professional. I'm talking about the teams from the Seychelles. So their training times are way less than those of Malawi because they've got full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Just about a whole team. So that can be a big challenge in as far as your conditioning. And if you are to play against a team that plays high-intensive football, it can be a very big challenge. He's having a ball.
That's beautifully done now. The ball in needed to be defended. So far, it's a tremendous amount of pressure on the Seychelles defense. Yet another wave in the attack. Cut back. Oh, the teammate, but a heavy touch. Sees that attack come to nothing. Again, they are loving the fact that their team is asking some serious questions. But the Seychelles defense and aren't letting up quite importantly. Saizi amongst those involved in the latest attack again.
Back in his normal position, wide right again. But he was there once more. That's a problem now with the goalkeeper. You can't use your hands because you've got the gloves on.
Yep.
And to take them out, and when you're done, to squeeze them in back again is a mission.
But let's keep in mind here and take the opportunity to remind those of you that may be joining us late that the rain has been a major factor and coming down throughout the day here, so conditions are wet and it'll make life rather interesting for the goalkeeper. And as far as their handling, decision making as to what to catch and what to punch clear in crosses coming into the box, including shots. Again, joy from this near side for Malawi. The intention with the attempt to end that cross in. Now, Malawi again, ball across. Don't think it was intended. The man picking it up was a man on the edge of the box thing that would have had a clear sight to go. Well, there you go. Like you said earlier, with the continued chasing and being handed off the ball comes the unforced errors that creep into the game from a Seychelles point of view. Lovely touch and beautifully done to keep it moving by Dana here on this near side. Good skill, lovely skill. Looking for the 1-2, are they? Keeping it moving, and was there a chance for one more pass then before releasing the shot?
That's exactly what I thought. I mean, once again, Saizi was waiting for expecting that pass to be rolled across to him.
Mwembe, the man with the shots. There's another follow-up shot here that'll go wide of the mark. Well, talk about wave after wave of attack from the men in red here. That last attack, though, breathtaking in the skill factor. Sean, they worked it beautifully. How's that for lovely footwork? The little turn here. Never looked up, never really saw. He had one thing in mind. Mwembe as the striker, once he got the ball at his feet, turn and shoot.
But Mkoma, I thought there's a pass the ball to Kumwembe and breaking wide. I think it would be Dana first. And if he had gotten a return pass, he'll have broken through the lines. But that wasn't the case. But again, Kumwembe was the other that maybe chose wrong to take a shot, while there was more free men on the far side.
At times we criticized them for having one too many passes in the box. This time, we're saying there was at least one more pass available in the box.
That's true. Look at the reaction from the second ball. 3 Malawi players were willing to get to it.
There's found space to operate in on the far side. The likes of Sanudi and Idana. Well, Seychelles with the attack here towards the final third. Dana. Now, pull through then. All about strength. And that's where the defender wins the battle between the two then, with Kumwembe coming out second best in his battle against Palette.
Excellent defending. That's all he needed to do, is just use his body weight against Kumwembe.
top of the shoulder to buy some time and space on this near side. Early ball in, finds a teammate, space on the far side, and well, he's confident shot himself. It's a little tame and easy together in the end then for Montali. To have the option to find the teammate on the far side then.
Being modest, say a little tame. That was a very tame shot.
Yep. You don't get it, the man who had the shots. Remember, he's coming as a substitute for the injured Hopridge in the early stages of this match. Ooh, it's over the top.
Yeah. Lungu anticipated that one and jumped off the challenge.
Now he's still picking up the pieces here on this near side. There's ball numbers in there. Amongst them is Kumwembe, I beg your pardon. Didn't get the true connection he was looking for. Tell you he's had a great start to honor this near side.
I think it's Mkoma, the number 19.
Super start here. He's lively, he's busy.
Opens the game nicely.
Now, that's an interesting ball in there, and again, there's a proper contest between the defender and attacker. So much pressure on that central duo defensively of Palette and Meli for Seychelles, with Mwembe constantly looking to get onto the end of things. Then he's always on the shoulder of the last defender, always looking to get the better of one of those two, depending on who's battling at the time.
Now, what will be very important for Malawi is between Idana and Kaunga. They need to be better at coming underneath Mwembe, who's going to jump for everything, creating second goal scenarios. They've got to be a little bit closer to pick up the pieces. Right now, I think they're staying a little bit far. They're not assisting him close enough for him to be more adventurous. Because you can see there's potential for that ball to come loose from the headers that are coming from the defender or Kumwembe.
Well, they're taking the time about things here, the likes of Chimbezi. As they build from the back, actually looking to go route one. Now, Seychelles with a chance to get into that final third. These numbers getting in the box. It's into a nice crossing position. The cross disappointing in the end, but more likely from the Seychelles. That's much better in as far as the approach play to get it into crossing positions.
As you say, it has taken them that long to get into a position to cross ball. So when you do get, they make it count. At least deliver better. And that was, for me, very weak and aimless, poor on his part.
Oh, once again, it's Malawi on this near side. Great movement off the ball then. The combination play. Interesting enough to keep that defense honest of the Seychelles. No foul. Referee having a lovely view on the challenge a little bit earlier on. That's what they've done well. Win the ball back in great areas of the men in red. Flowing in Proby.
In the first game, I wanted to take the opportunity to explain the incident about that penalty and the straight red. But unfortunately, this game has been so fast, and that game, of course, didn't give us those chances either. And I've been waiting for a moment where it might break down so that I can take the opportunity. Because Lopi, I've got quite a few calls and messages of people are inquiring about the decision to give a penalty and a red card. There is an explanation to that. I did yesterday, but I don't feel I did it convincingly.
We'll find the next best opportunity, of course, to do that, yeah,
You remind me.
in informing the fans. But what was the decision yesterday? As we see the score played, we'll get back to that in a moment, Charlie. It's Malawi again. Looking to set it up for the shot, and enough done defensively by the Seychelles to survive another scare.
A moment where I think Nkoma could have done better. He gets wide and he's ahead of the defenders, but he slows down almost to a walking pace. And that gives enough time to the central defenders of Seychelles to get up behind the action. That for me was really good. Yes, there wasn't enough numbers for him to cross it, but if he crosses it earlier, even if it's one attacking player, there's a big chance that he can get to it.
Yet another wave coming forward here for the men in Malawi. The early cross this time, again looking for Kumwembe.
See, this picture here is a lot better. You got Kumwembe and you got somebody behind him,
Yeah,
and there's a big chance if you create yourself a moment like that and the ball comes through into the box.
oh nice. And holding it up here and waiting for support to arrive for what seemed a very isolated man in Camille, wearing the number 15 on his back. Has a stunning job. To decide, don't hold on to it for too long. So here goes yet another attack here from Malawi. Good movement on the near side, picking it up here and pushing forward, looking for that 1-2. Was Itana again? Seychelles doing just enough to keep. But looks like hungry Malawi at bay. He is troublesome. And into trouble this time though. Did Nkoma. Is he looking to always have a run at the defender when the chance presents itself?
And as well, he's playing as an inverted winger.
Yeah.
So he's caught the defender a number of times where he drops his shoulder to the left and cuts through the inside. And it's been working so far, but it's the final pass that is missing from him. He's got to improve on that. Sometimes he runs so fast that he wobbles at the end.
Mentioned earlier, plays for Nyasa Big Bullets. It's he and Alec Lungu, who are the two starters in this Malawi side that play for Nyasa Big Bullets. Both of them starters in the last game, in fact completed the last game as well. If you are joining us late, did mention a little bit earlier that Malawi didn't change their starting 11 from the first game, with good reason. Against the defending champions, they had a great start to that game, built great momentum up to the point where they found the opening and only goal of that match. Aaron here. Now, get numbers in the box, ball in then.
Second ball, scenario. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
This time much better, except for that there was a foul. There was definitely an opportunity. You could see the numbers were better of the red shirts in that box. He doesn't necessarily have to score. He's just got to fight enough to put those defenders off, so that that header, the clearing header, doesn't go too far.
Tell you what, the whistle went as Itana was lining up the shot then on the edge of the box. Now, good movement on the near side. He's done well to release it here as Kumwembe. Now, skillful, but in the end the whistle's gone rather late then.
Belated.
It looked as though the Seychelles were in all sorts of trouble defensively. Outside officials flag, disappointing the many fans from Malawi out in the stands then.
Might have been raised earlier, and it's just that maybe we didn't pick it up from where we were, because for me, when he received it, it did look offside.
Great call. It's gone up. Yeah, the referee would have spotted it late. Far-side official, Elfas Sitole from South Africa. The match referee is Suleiman Al-Sudani from the Comoros Islands. I'll give you credit, 25 minutes in, and Malawi have maintained the intensity they started this game with. Yes, this pass hasn't quite worked out for them, but they are constantly knocking on that door, looking to break it down.
Listen, if you're not long enough, it'll all go down. And that's what I believe. And yes, maybe a little bit, if you're unlucky, it might not, but the chances are that under normal circumstances, if you're not that long, You'll be rewarded. It's a question of time. But of course, very impressive that up to now, up to this minute, Seychelles are holding on.
Yeah. That is the other question, of course. How long can they hold on for Seychelles? Especially at this pace, at this intensity. And dangerously then and losing it in what could be an area to hurt. Malawi is Longo. Worked hard to try and win it back, but the foul was committed. Aaron involved.
Heard the story for an elephant sitting on the branch.
No?
That can only stay for so long.
Before the branch breaks, you mean?
Yes. Well, I'm not guessing this game. I'm just saying.
Well, when you look at the shots at goal, Malawi having the bulk of the shot on target, it's very even. But those numbers may be slightly deceiving. Malawi's had the better go of it. They've enjoyed much more ball possession. They have had moments, created moments of discomfort in that Seychelles defense.
And those numbers, they tell a story to what eventually happens in a game.
How they'd love to win the ball high up the field. Seychelles with just one pass to release to a striker to have a possible shot at goal. Then they thought it was the case, then in winning it against Idana. Good work on the far side. Again, the early ball in, slightly overcooked. Defender turned into trouble. Unfortunately for him, he was able to rescue that situation.
Let me tell you, Mateo, yes, he's been beaten a number of times, but he's very aggressive. He's stayed with Nkoma a couple of times, and he's winning some of the battles. For me, for a player that's being run down in that fashion, we should be about now giving up. But he's still pretty much in the game, and he's still fighting, and he's winning battles.
Of course, the man in question is Matthew Odway, the number 14 on his back, and on top of all of that, William Chongwe, he's been on a yellow card since the early stages of the half, so doing extremely well in that regard. Shot from range, but decided to allow it to run on. I don't know if it was closer than he thought.
Scary.
It was scary close. Mwembe trying his luck from a long way out.
But still, with all the chance that they're creating, they're not finding the target, but also the shots are very tame.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're given that a moment to run into the ball and build your momentum like you did, you should be able to strike the ball better.
Here's Aaron. Mwase. Seychelles there to try and build going forward through the process here.
Isolated. Maybe the decision making as well. You can see the one attacking player is among 3 defenders. So what a chance that he's going to win it and keep it under control.
Is a man who's been impressive here in this game. That's Idana with the forward pass on the teammate, but defender done enough to ensure that Malawi was slowed down for just a moment. 50 minutes gone by here. You don't know the scoreline. Seychelles with a lot of work done on the back foot here. Next to done there in space for the shot. Oh, superb save. Great save then from L'Esperance to deny what was the best chance of the game so far for Malawi.
Just trying to work it out. Saizi. Once again in the box. Presence of mind and the calmness to get the defender off his side and release a good shot. Nice and low, but maybe the far post would have been better.
lovely skill to get beyond the defender and to the first time of asking and create the space for the shots. Good goalkeeping in by L'Esperance, protecting the near post as he should.
Kelly Omapedi going into the half. If it remains like this, he'll be a concerned man. And once again, it's one of those moments where you come from the high of a great game previously and suddenly encounter the form, some reason the mind is not right, it's not in the right place, and you can't apply yourself accordingly. That will be working on Mapedi's mind. But in this case, Malawi have put up a great game. It's just that they have not been clinical, which is a part of the game.
Here they come again. Well, it's been a tough going here for the defenders of Seychelles. At times they've been battered and bruised by the likes of Mwembe. And, well, you mentioned the fact that for all of their huffing and puffing, it could take a moment for Seychelles to, against the run of play, go on and open the scoring and further frustrate Malawi. But we wondered about the intensity of Malawi and the intentions coming into this game, whether they take it easy or pick up the pace of the game and hit the ground at 120 k's an hour, asking questions of that Seychelles defense. It seems to be what they've done. Their hearts have been in the right place in that regard. It's just finding the opener. That's the only challenge. Labrose. Move right to the near side. The early ball in from Matiotu. Got a chance to get forward on the overlap then the right back on that occasion. Now, Saizi. Looking to curl it into the path of those moving in the central areas. Then defenders did enough to put them off.
Idea was good, but the execution failed him.
Seychelles, again, that's lovely vision. Good ball over to this near side. It's Mathiot again. The right back was gotten forward into this final third. No joy for him. Once those drop back here and assisting is Nkoma. Nice to see the right back has been under so much pressure for much of this half, defending and on the yellow card. We praised his defensive output a little bit earlier, but also beginning to get forward now on 2 or 3 occasions.
Amazing.
Start adding to the numbers on the front foot.
Which I didn't expect with the pressure that he's been under since the game started. I'm thinking to myself, maybe he'll try to save as much energy as he can, because this is not going to stop anytime soon. But he's one of the most experienced out of the lot. I've seen he's been in this competition, I don't know how many times already. I think from about 4 years ago, he's been attending. So he's one of the seniors. Lots of experience.
Some of the flick on the near post. Aaron, interesting ball, and again, Seychelles able to deal with anything Malawi have thrown at them thus far.
If I had more time in the Premier interview with Vivian, Bott, the coach of the Seychelles, he says, I don't know what happened to my place. And I'm like, in my mind, what did you expect? But now, looking at this performance, I'm thinking, yes, he had a point. They didn't come out in this fashion in that first game.
Now, on a yellow card was Mathiot. He's eventually been substituted here, and it's Pascal Matthew that will come on in his place. I do suspect the yellow card has got a lot to do with the reason that he's made way. Don't think there was anything wrong with his general play. He was under a lot of pressure.
No, I'm thinking differently. The man has been run down so much that he felt, you know what, I can't handle this anymore. Please take me out. I didn't see any injury of any nature. If anything, he was still pretty much in the game and even yeah. But I think he overdid it.
So that's 36 minutes and 2 changes made by the Seychelles. One a
Fantastic.
forced change, and the other a tactical change by the look of it. Football means football. With all of the pressing and attacking Malawi is done.
It takes one.
Just takes one opportunity for the Seychelles to convert. Big question, is this the one? The first corner. Far post. They headed defensively.
Take into account as well the minutes, the remaining minutes.
Yeah.
A lot normally happens around this time. Lapses of concentration, already players thinking of the dressing room, halftime chat, and they switch off. Coach summarizes notes of what he's going to do, and then suddenly he's got to clear everything and start afresh and prepare.
It happened yesterday with the Namibian coach who was ready with his notes and suddenly had to sit down and
listen.
Think the whole halftime chat.
He didn't have enough time because he hardly said anything at the halftime. He was walking in out of that dressing room and I wasn't sure what's happening. He didn't stay much, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, yes, here you are, taking all the last 10 minutes or so, thinking, this is how it's looking and this is how it's going to be. And then suddenly, bang, not just an equalizer.
Bang again, it's leading goal.
What do you do? What can you prepare?
Also in the last 5 minutes of the first half.
But I guess they had that situation in their favor in their first game when they scored against Bafana Bafana.
In the minutes leading up to half time?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you'll know, having been part of many coaching staffs, that you guys will always preach to the players, opening 5, closing 5 of any half.
Yeah.
The moments you need to be most awake.
The whole time it's just that the mentality of players, they start switching off way in advance. That's why then as coaches, you have to raise the game in as far as helping them.
Shot from range! That looks like too much. Time. Keep in mind, although they do have the win in their sales against Zambia, none of the Malawi players have found the back of the net as yet in this tournament. It was an own goal against the Zambians, so that's also a bit of a factor. Who's going to be the first to get the monkey off their back?
Just because it went well, we actually forgot that they didn't score.
Yeah.
I mean, the win just covers everything else. But still, obviously, it tells the story that the team still has a challenge. They're not scoring enough. But then you're hoping you're playing a team that is not as competitive as Zambia, and then it might be easier, not completely easy. But Seychelles has come and said, listen, you got it all wrong. Go and rethink your approach.
Aaron's lost out in the middle of the park.
What's he doing out there?
Trying to be involved in the game here. Quick 1-2 on the far side. Those are a little wide here, which made them lose out on the chance to possibly have a cross played into the box. So, going into the last 5 here, it's the men in blue that'll be the happier, along with their supporters, of the way things have fared here. They seem to have weathered the storm here, and the intensity seems to have gone up just a bit here in the moments leading up to half-time. For a Malawi nation that has twice ended as silver medalist in the history of this tournament. Mentioned they did win the COSAFA Cup on 3 occasions back in the late 70s and early 90s, 78, 79, and the 80s, or early 80s I should say, late 80s. Still, the probe here. And the pass thing won't compliment the run out to that far side, plus the defender and done a good job of keeping up with the run. The frustration now being felt from the fans. From a Malawi point of view, we need to get onto the backs of the players. As they realize the first half is very near its end. Still no goals scored, nor are we any closer to witnessing a goal scored. Idana. Quite vocal is the man between the sticks, then Esperance for Seychelles. We love the fact that he is looking at a few minutes before the end of the half without conceding, although that could change in the next play or two here. Lovely work on the near side, cornered. Good skill here by Laplace, trying to help Seychelles play down on Vateja. They've got to throw it. Chimbezi with the touch into touch. It's the Black Rippers as Jack Chimbezi. Idana. Idana again. Couldn't find the through ball he was hoping for. Again, easily read defensively then by the Seychelles. They don't hold on to it not too impressively themselves here as the first half draws towards the end. Now, 2 minutes added on to the end of the first half. 2 minutes for Malawi to try and find the lead here. Good hard running on the near side. He's eliminated for ball in. Arriving and unable to turn it in was Kumwembe. Pressure still on. Venture shot to go wide of the mark. That was beautiful play in the build-up there. Koma, I believe it was, weaving through the defense and looking for Kumwembe. Well, he's strong, he's quick, lovely balance, nothing wrong with the ball into the near post. Keeper did just enough. Well, Malawi with yet another impressive attack and coming so close to finding the opening goal of this match. Aaron. the victim of the challenge then in the middle of the park. Yellow card will be showing here. He's the man to go into the referee's book with the yellow. Plays for Abayan United out in England. That is the only of the Seychelles players, in fact one of two, to play outside of the borders. Mabedi will have hoped his side would come through here with the right intensity. They did. They would have hoped for goals here. They've had moments to haven't been able to get the better of L'Esperance between the sticks for the Seychelles side. Up to this point, none of Mabedi's players have been able to find the back of the net in the match and a half they've played. Only goal scored came from an own goal against Zambia in the opening match of the tournament. There you have it for the Seychelles. They will be happy with this. They've survived the first 45 and the onslaught that looked as though it was coming from Malawi. One man who's been impressive is Nkoma out on the left-hand side of the Malawi attack. He, time and time again, asked some serious questions over the Seychelles defense on the right-hand side. Also looks to create some chances for his side, and L'Esperance for one has done well defensively. Seychelles making two changes, one forced, the other a tactical change in that first half. Malawi with all the huffing and puffing, but yet to blow down the wall that is the Seychelles defense. The scoreline at half-time, 0-0. Don't know the scoreline yet. Halftime between Malawi and Seychelles, and I'll tell you what, it's been an interesting game of football up to this point. Malawi huffed and puffed, and while Seychelles remained resilient in that first half and ensured that they weren't to be blown down by the Malawi attempts. That's an intense Malawi from the get-go as they tried to get that opening goal then and score their first goal of this tournament outside of the own goal that they got against Zimbabwe in the opening game. So they had numbers pushed forward, had a number of positive moments on the attack in that first half as Malawi working hard and skillful in and finding the gap was Saizi after the hard work of Kumwembe. It's a good save. It was then from L'Esperance to deny Malawi. Follow-up shot, some way off the mark. Well, on the near side, there was plenty of joy. Then the skill. Oh, but Ngoma really came to the fore. Then he finds Mwembe, but again, Esperance does just hard enough then to keep frustrating. There's some Malawi inside. There are many more moments they created that may not have amounted to clear-cut chances at goal then, but Malawi certainly did ask questions of Seychelles then. One of the outstanding players in that half wasn't Gourmet, wearing the number 19 jersey. He worked that right back position to no end in that first 45 minutes. So, the numbers then very much in favor of Malawi. 9 goal attempts, just 2 on target. They are just edging on Seychelles with ball possession, but would love to create more clear-cut chances. As while William Shogwe is waiting with one more of those surprises in the way of his interviews at half-time.
With me is Ubabum Ngati, who is the Deputy Chairperson of Community Services in eThekwini Municipality. Mhloniphe, you must be happy. In fact, I don't have to tell you if you're happy or not, but your feelings about the event, how is it going so far?
So far, the event is going very well, and we are happy. And the main thing about the event is about the spectators. The spectators are very happy, as you can see in the stadium, and it's buzzing, and that it tells you that everyone is happy.
So it's important that Bafana stays in the competitions because I'm sure yesterday you were even more happy with the presence, obviously, of the fans in the stands, but just the joyful nature of the afternoon altogether.
You know, it's a pity that as the host, we have to support every team that is here, but we cannot run away from the fact that as South Africans we have to support Bafana. We are happy that the chances of them qualifying for quarterfinals, it might happen. So we are happy and we want them to go all the way and win the cup. So we rally behind our Bafana team.
Now, here's the thing. We are 2 years into the 3-year contract that you signed with COSAFA. Going forward, what are the chances that the municipality will continue to bless us with their presence?
As the Committee of Community Services, this tournament falls under our committee. We are happy. The working relationship between eThekwini Municipality and COSAFA, it's good. And they are happy, and we know that next year we won't even negotiate. They will extend it, and us as the committee, we will make sure that we continue to put the funding on the tournament because it's a great benefit on all of us.
Besides the football in the field of play, what other developments are there that the municipality is doing alongside COSAFA in the region?
It's in terms of tourism. Yes. We are happy. We have people from Seychelles, people from Zambia, Malawi. So the benefits in terms of business, it's huge, and we are very happy. On our side as well, we have more than 100 young people that are given a chance and that are working. And behind you, Yes, behind you we have students from DUT that are doing media and communications. They are here. They are given an opportunity to train under the media. Also in the fields we have 10 students, medical students that are from UKZN. They are working with the doctors. And for us, if there is a benefit in that way, and we are happy, and as the city we are benefiting in terms of tourism, we are happy. So that's why we are looking forward on extending this contract with COSAFA.
Mhlonipheke, ngibonge kakhulu ukuba nawe lana, and thanks so much.
Siyabonga kakhulu, Bafshon. Thank you.
Well, the football is what we're waiting for here in the second half of this rather interesting match between Malawi and Seychelles. Coming through on the other side of this is the second half. Well, the scoreline 0-0 here between Malawi and Seychelles as we look forward to the second half. It was a thoroughly entertaining first half between these two nations, and we await them coming out of the change room to come out and entertain in the battle for 3 points. Keep in mind, Zambia and Comoros were in action earlier on in the half in the way of this particular group, Group B, of the 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Zambia picking up their first 3 points with that 2-1 win over Comoros. Comoros already with 3 points after having beaten Seychelles, the team in your picture currently, in the opening game. And as things stand, it's rather interesting as to how things will unfold ahead of the third and last round of matches in a few days' time. Well, the weather kept them away with the rain a little bit earlier. The rain has stayed away now late in the evening, so many of them have come out here and they're having a ball of a time. And as you can tell, it's an extremely cold night in Durban. Here's a man that was amongst the most impressive in that first half. Chimwemwe Itana, operating in the midfield for Malawi, another that had a great first half was Lindsay's in coma, operating out wide on the left side here. Still the scoreline 0-0. Malawi know if they are to, of course, walk away with the 3 points here today, it will stand them in great stead going into that last round of matches. And well, here's a surprise. Alvin Michel will replace Jean-Paul Jacques L'Esperance, the goalkeeper, who, well, had a busy first half, but a great first half. So the big surprise is that he is being replaced as Malawi, well, get the second half underway, attacking the goal to the right of your picture. That, by the way, is the third change made by the Seychelles in this match. Forced him to one, then made another tactical change where they replaced the right back in the first half, and now they've replaced the goalkeeper as we go through the starting 11 from Malawi that hasn't changed as yet, by the way, at the bottom of your picture. So if you're just joining us here in the second half, it was Malawi that really played all the football while Seychelles did most of the defending in what turned into a half of defenders against attackers, or maybe I should say attackers against defenders. For all of their attacking intent, only 2 shots on target from this Malawi side, something they look to improve upon here in the second half. Now, Idana looking to keep it moving with Nkoma, then who's lost out in the middle of the park here. Seychelles able to keep it moving with Vidot Skerik. Thanks to the 2 changes made in the first half. I spoke of earlier. He was one match. He also came in to the right back position, ring the number 22. Now, there's a chance for Malawi! Looking at Garni that just as the shot was taken, wouldn't have mattered though, because he was seen to have been in an offside position. Mwembe had his moments in the first half and looked to continue in his battle against the new keeper in this case. Keeper being Alvin Michel. Here is Michel enjoying his first few touches of this match since coming on as a second half substitute.
Played the first match, by the way, Alvin. So he's no stranger to the pressure that comes with playing in this competition.
Did concede the 3 goals in that match, did Alvin Michel. So started this game on the bench, which of course will raise an eyebrow, William Shonwe. If he wasn't injured, seems as though form was the reason he would have been dropped. Then you look to L'Esperance's performance in the first half and can't fault much of what he did, except to think maybe he had an injury. Now here's a surprise. Saiz is the man that's making way, and Wangulu comes on in his place.
A little bit of a surprise, though I must say that from the first game's performance.
Now, no toy for Malawi then. You were making a point, Shongwe?
Yeah, I felt like there was a drop of form if you compare him with the first game that he played. Which could be the reason, maybe that's why he substituted. And also, it's about giving chances to players that you know has the ability with fresh legs. And he can spark this game to life, which is what Malawi needs right now.
Well, it's all about lessening the pressure for Malawi going into that third round of matches. Pick up 6 points if you can here. With another win, it'll do a great distance in lessening that pressure. Should they be unable to, and let's say draw this match, at worst, they'll then be on 4 points with Zambia and Comoros breathing on their necks going into that last match against the Comoros.
That's where we want it to be.
Yeah.
We don't want to basically stop using the calculator right now. We just want to keep it right to the end where we'll continue to look at the permutations, who's what and what. You know, it's always nice to keep the tournament running up until that stage.
Surely, that's what Zambia and Comoros will be hoping for. In fact, what they'll be praying for is that Seychelles comes up with that sucker punch that sees them walk away winners somehow here, not will be a snatch and grab.
3-3-3. Oh, except for, yeah.
Yeah, it will be 3-3-3 and 1. Oh, and 3 here as well.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny? Going into the last game, except for the goal difference, maybe that's what will give others a better chance to go through over the other, because the rules, of course, states that there's a number of situations that will be used to determine who goes through. Points, of course, first, goal difference, head to head.
Nice. I was going to say hustle to win it back as high up the field as possible, but the flag on the near side had gone up, protecting Stanley, or rather Eric Melli, the captain of the Seychelles here. Conti was fouled, as did the near side official. New man on the field. Ongulu seen as the guilty party. Another of the Nyasa Big Police players, this one coming off the bench to make it 3 that have been involved in this match for Malawi. That's a good ball. Good movement on the far side as Malawi driving forward again. Angle for the shot! Well, it's hands on head time as he can't keep it on target and Koma. One of the best players on the day. He would be fully deserving of a goal with the efforts he's put in so far.
But what is it going to take for him to find the back of the net? Because if there's anything that he hasn't done, it's just that. And as far as creating the chances, he cuts into the inside once again, plays an inverted. Unleashes powerfully, but maybe this time the power must be put aside and look for the killer.
Well, he's had precious little to do, by the way. Brighton Montali, the man between the sticks for this Malawi side. Now, foul there. For the challenge on Gawang, a yellow card as well to go with the foul. We still have been waiting for the perfect opportunity, Chongwe, for you to explain the penalty and sending off situation yesterday. We won't have the moment now, but maybe shortly after this we can get into it.
The honor's on you. I'm ready.
Well, it's up to them if they allow us to. The pace of the game is such that they really haven't allowed us to stray far from the game. No doubt that's a foul.
People are waiting at home and they'll blame you if you don't get that chance. Organization.
Four in the wall.
It's a bit more central, makes sense. The wider it gets, then that's when you trim up the wall, players on the wall.
Set up for the right-footed strike. Nicely done. Didn't have to move an inch to the left or right, straight down his throat.
It's very important for him here in coming at the break to also get the feel of the ball in his hands. It's a good catch. Boost the confidence.
Let's steal this moment then, shall we, Shonga? And go back to the sending off yesterday. That came with a penalty given as well. And what many see as double punishment with the penalty and the sending off, and how that came about yesterday.
Any foul committed in the box that deserves a direct kick.
Solid work defensively, but only slowing down Malawi for a moment. Ball in! 1-0! They had to be patient. And in the end, Suar's button corner there to nod it home after a lovely bit of work on this near side where strength came to the fore.
To the most deserving player in the field of play for Malawi to be able to get that goal. He's been working on it, and yet it hasn't quite come together, but it finally does. But you got to give credit. Who made the run on this right hand side and delivered? For me, the quality, that's what was a well thought through execution, because he had a chance to actually go direct himself, but he opted, and not just a cross or a cutback, he lifts it over the defender to make sure that it's clear of everybody. The defender recovers. Kawonga, the two have been mesmerizing this defense of the Seychelles. That's beautifully done. I mean, he still had to do a lot of work by getting past the first defender that was on him, using his strength, and beautifully done by Mkama. That's a goal that Malawi needed.
Ngoma, after 56 minutes, gives Malawi a lead they've worked hard to get. And look to build upon this now. And look to make it comfortable going in towards the end of the game if they can stretch this lead. To their credit, they never really let up on the intensity and the drive to try and get forward. And well, Seychelles now have to come out of their shell a bit here and see if they can find an equalizing goal.
If they come out, we must know that will come at the expense of opening himself up defensively, which could put Malawi in a position where they can increase their lead. They're still got some time. About 23 minutes or so. Lungu, what did he do there?
Yellow card for Alec Lungu. One of the three Nyasa Big Pullers players out of that field. Now the Blue Eagles man here, Brighton Montali, has a little to do. Comfortable with the pickup immediately, looking to release Kawonga beyond the halfway line. They really are putting the pressure on, and they haven't let up. Malawi, as far as the intensity, right from the early minutes of this game, they have kept the pressure on. Finally rewarded for it, having to wait until 10 minutes into the second half for the opener.
For me, I think it was always
problems. Serious problems here.
What is Michel doing? He keeps backpedaling and he doesn't realize his attacking player is closing on him. Easily that could have been blocked back into his own goal. I was saying earlier, Cesar Mopena, is that for Malawi, it must have been always in the plan. We'll keep up with the intensity, wear them down, and eventually, when the legs are heavy, remember I mentioned the loss of concentration, and also coming second best in duels, and all those are moments whereby can be taken by the opposition. And they might not have been clear in this last instance when they got the goal, but reacting second best must be one of them. Not being able to be sharp enough to cover the areas defensively.
In short, my colleague put it best in the first half when he said that when an elephant leans on a branch, eventually the branch will break, which is what's happened.
What are you laughing at? That was just,
It was beautifully put. You know? Getting more technical now, going about it a long way of explaining. The branch is broken.
we've got different people that we are addressing in this platform of ours. There are those
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wants to know the football side of what's the technicalities that is involved here. Why suddenly Mele is beaten by a straightforward run when he was on top of his game throughout. And for me, it's all those 50 whatever minutes that he's been doing that.
We appreciate that breakdown as well, Shona.
It's taxing.
60 minutes gone by. That's the hour. Malawi leading by 1. Bigger picture as Malawi, as things stand, sitting on 6 points in the group. That's how important that goal by Nkoma was. Would have sunk the hearts of the Zambians watching on. Itana. I've enjoyed watching him play here today. Itana wearing the number 8. Really have.
Kawonga as well comes to mind for me.
Here we go again. Lovely play on that far side, and it's played in. Should be! Important block. Seychelles living dangerously. Malawi looking good for another. Allen. I do the captain driving forwards. Well read. Oh, good skill. Lovely skill. Santana again.
Getting
Nice
a
with
little
it.
getting a little bit physical now is Seychelles. They're coming second best. That's why they're being physical. Because they're not getting there in time enough to be able to win the ball or keep it under control. They're reacting to situations.
Sadudi. Idana. Also, the length of time Malawi at times is able to hold on to the ball and just keep it away from the Seychelles and then raise the intensity by still getting into the final third. Have the last dish tackles coming in. Mentally, can you imagine what the Seychelles are going through? Worth of getting it over to this near side here for the Seychelles. One of those rare attacks broken down by Ellen, which he does so well, protecting that back four. Itana gets beyond one, looks to get it in behind that defense once again. Good hard running. Oh, he's done well to stay on his feet. Desperate times defensively. Pressure still on. Space to turn for Itana. Facing. Looking for the 1-2. Skill in trying to keep it alive. Well, pressure still on. They're struggling to get it clear. And in the end, Michelle crumbles onto it. And they get the breather.
It's getting harder and harder. You want a little bit of recovery after execution and action. It's always important to get a few seconds recovery, but in this case they've not been having that. It's like back to back. Just the minute when they take 1, 2, 3 steps forward, the ball is back. 1, 2, 3 steps forward, the ball is back. The drowning syndrome.
Waterboarding. Where just as you want to get your breath, you pulled under again, and that's what Malawi have done well here against Seychelles. You still remember that. Football's version of waterboarding.
You taught me.
Now, pulling behind that defense. Oh, great work to keep it alive. Again, keeping the pressure on. They're not giving them a moment's rest. There's a save! There's no denying the second. The pressure is telling. Wave after wave. And in the end, it's the easiest of tap-ins for Kumwembe.
He has been patient. He has been waiting. he's been roving around that area, looking for this one that eventually came, and it didn't disappoint. But you know what? There's been good work done on either side of the channel for me. But the left one, maybe the most important. It's been really applying pressure after pressure. The drowning syndrome is finally, choking. The Seychelles are finally choking here.
This pressure, they just keep the pressure going, keep it on target, that shot, and the keeper can only parry it into the danger area. There to drill it home is Kumwembe, and Malawi now 2 to the good, looking good for 3 points here, William Shongwe, which, of course, will be telling in the overall picture.
They are marching on, marching on. Yes, finally, I think there is a belief after a big scare in that first half when nothing came together. Yes, they put in the effort, but what will have been disappointing in that first half is that after all that much possession, the entries, just about all the effort that they put into it, but the shots on target were disappointing by a big margin.
Rare shots from the Seychelles, won't be on target, won't trouble Brighton Muntali. So, Mwembe, the man who plays for mighty Muguru Wanderers out in Malawi, getting his first over this year's tournament. Second player for Malawi to score. Third goal Malawi have scored in this tournament in total over the last 2 matches. Well, they're deserving of the goals. They've had 5 on target thus far for Malawi. And in the time that remains, if they keep up the intensity at which they've been operating at, you wouldn't forgive yourself for thinking there could be 1 or 2 more here. Wouldn't forgive yourself.
With about 24 minutes remaining,
yeah.
Yes. But you know the story. When it looks so easy,
yeah,
naturally some players just take the foot off the pedal without even realizing they're doing so. That's where you need a very strong bench. That's why you find coaches screaming at the players even when it all looks, because they're realizing something is not happening. The tempo is dropped. You need to learn to bury the game, as they often say, because as long as it is 2, anything can still happen. So if you've got the team or the game under control and you're pressing the opposition, if you can now choke them completely, go for it.
Now, we have had a chance for the most part somewhere to see teams play twice. These teams haven't quite completed their second matches, but in those 2 matches, judgments are made of performances, of statements that are being made by the team, who looks strongest, who looks weakest, and who looks most entertaining, and such. And that's how we judge teams and start to rate them going forward as a possible threat for the overall title. When you look at Malawi, the way they went at the Zambians, and yes, won through an own goal, but the way they went at the Zambians was something similar to this, in just application and press and repeat and starting again. Yes, Zambia came strong in the second half of that game, but Malawi pretty much had things in check. There are problems here. And looking at how they've gone about this game, the intensity, how they've kept it up there. Yes, the opponent is the opponent, but it's about how you play as well.
Yes.
Let's talk about the statement being made by Malawi, just as one of the teams that's looking as though they're one of the favorites for the time being. Touch on that in a moment. But here's Alan.
Pity that Zambia is in the same group.
Yeah.
Only one can go. But we do wait, of course, for that runners-up position, which could go to any of the teams. So at this stage, it's not clear. But I'm just saying, you want the Zambias of this world, the Malawis of this world, to be in the finals, but final to be in the semi-finals. And we'll see, of course, work it out which other team is more likely to make it. The team that brings quite a bit of action and life into these competitions, we want them to proceed. It's important for this competition to stay alive. It's nice when the fan base is good and it's buzzing in the stands. We also feed off that energy and to keep the excitement going. The players feed off that as well.
not just about the 11 on the field here. The 12th man is, well, amongst the best we've seen so far, and we've seen some great support in this tournament. But the Malawis are standing out head and shoulders as some of the most entertaining fans we've seen so far.
But Ndumiso
Just putting in a shift, yeah.
He's taking full advantage of the presence of a lively support base. And he's feeding off the energy that he's giving. The fans also are just enjoying his actions out in the stands.
Those of you who are wondering whom we're speaking of Ndumiso Dlamini, who usually wears the Amazulu kit and goes out into the fans and does his warm-up routine, if you will, to the entertainment of those that have turned out here, the main grandstands. Came out a little bit earlier.
You missed him.
Yeah.
Because you sit here in the commentary booth and you don't even get to go see our people. He actually came out in the VIP section and he's the celebrity. He was shaking hands with everybody. They love him to bits.
I like how you don't mention he took a picture with you. What a story, Shogman. Interesting ball here. As the Seychelles look to have a moment of their own on the attack here. Tell you what, things will be rather interesting going into the last group matches here. Seychelles still have to play against Zambia. The expectation will be for the Zambians to win, although we won't know until that's done and dusted, but the good money will be on Zambia to win. Whilst Comoros will be up against Mali, or Malawi, I beg your pardon. Malawi will want to go on and win that game, and they may be favourites going on to that game, so let's assume they both win those matches. It'll mean Zambia will be on 6 points, Malawi on 9, and they won't be caught. And here they are looking to score goal number 3, but it won't count. Offside. Official on the near side is Mr. Maloi from Mozambique.
I'm beginning to really like Kumwembe. In the fact there's not too many strikers that likes to hold that top line position and be there in the thick of things where it hurts the most. You know, you get kicked out, you get cut down. There's high pressure there, and he's a big boy. That's what maybe most coaches like about him. And you know, when you're big in that size, you're able to defend and protect yourself. You can take the pressure that comes with the defenders. So he's always there. That's how you score goals. You need to be there. You need to work your way into those type of areas where angels swear to trip. If I may put it.
That's nicely put, Sean. I like that. So, point I was making a little bit earlier, assuming that as favourites, both Malawi and Zambia win their matches, Malawi will move on to 9 points, Zambia will move on to 6, then begins the debate for best second place finishers.
So there's a big chance there.
Still a chance. Yes. That's the point I'm trying to make. Under pressure. Well, as the defender then he's conceded the throw-in, but he was under immense pressure. That they can still keep the pressure on this defense. The likes of Nkoma, after the 70 plus minutes they've had already in this match, is impressive, really impressive from a Malawian point of view.
They did the work in the first half. The intensity we're talking about is this space and easy time that they're having. They created it for themselves. So simply Seychelles can't keep up. And I saw one of the best players, the strong defender in Mele. He was feeling the effects of this game. So you must understand that those legs are getting heavy. How long can they keep running back to defend? And that's why maybe not so much of the high press because it takes them even more energy to drop back. They'll just try and hold as much of the space in that middle to see if they can defend it from that point of view.
Says a lot about the physical conditioning of this Malawi side, that they're able to maintain this pressure as they have this intensity as well. Not really dropped off at all in that regard. And for the poor Seychelles players, they look to the side of the field and see the Malawi fans running around the stadium and think to themselves, even the fans are incredibly fit. There they are, top of your picture, doing the rounds around the pitch. Players are incredibly fit, fans are incredibly fit. My goodness, what are these Malawians on?
Look at him. It's not worrying anything on top.
And it's cold, by the way. It's incredibly cold.
Aye. Kono kunyakudlila.
Yeah. Who's the goal? Keeping it warm.
Nah.
Last 15. Great running off the ball. Stretching that defense. They're quite a game here. Zakawanga. Tanuri.
But you must say, Seychelles are very courageous. They don't seem to be letting off as well. They're doing still the best they can to make it a game out of it.
Well, there seems to be a man down on the far side.
Malawi player.
Yeah, I do suspect it's that man Goma that is injured.
Listen, if I was the coach, because you still got the third game to play.
Yeah.
And but what he did in that first game is the coach is he did substitute some of the players, giving them a chance to be able to stay a little bit fresh for this game. So I think he's left some of this players maybe way too long. So the recovery might just be a challenge. So he might start making a lot of substitutions just to save them. I think that 2-0 scoreline is a little bit secure for him to not risk it, but to start looking at resting some of these players.
Well, Sanchez Nkoma played 90 minutes in the first game. Keep in mind, all the starters for the first game started this game. So he's kept it the same, pretty much in the starting 11. And well, for one of the players of the match, if not the man of the match, that's it for his day. The signal has come on in for the change to be made, Chongwe. So the last we've seen of Sanchez Nkoma, but what a performance by him on the day.
By far the best. But what I liked for me is not only his individual performance, there was combination play with some of the attacking players like Idana, Kawonga.
Lungu.
So you want to see a bit more of that. Yes, you can be individual when you are isolated from everybody, but in this case, for me, when you are able to get combinations of that nature, certain players can work together to create the right moments. It's so important, and that's what Nkoma was able to achieve. At some stage, I couldn't see who was actually playing the wide left because Kawonga was also drifting a bit more too.
Sanuri. Well, they're taking their time about it now. Mwase, as they slow it down just a bit here to Malawi. Very much in control of the game.
It's a drill that is very important. Being able to keep the ball for the longest, as long as there's no pressure. In times like this, when you're in the lead, you don't necessarily have to play that ball forward because there's a chance you can lose it. And what the opposition does with it can be judgmental. So keeping the ball, it's a form of defending. It's a form of resting. So that when you spring it forward in the next time, the players in the front lines are fresher and are ready to run.
Well, historically, no player from Malawi has scored more goals at the COSAFA Cup than Gabadinho Mango, who's scored 6 goals, followed by the likes of Kanyenda with 3, Muyaba with 3, Nkwazi with 3, and Pili Jr. with 3. Now, Idana. Allen.
Yes, Perry Jr. Last time I checked, was playing somewhere up north.
Yeah.
And I guess he's a big player now. He can't play.
Now, from range, the bounce won't be a problem. Body behind it nicely. Biggest win for Malawi, a 4-1 win over Botswana. Heaviest defeat, a 4-0 defeat to Zambia. So Zambia, giving them the heaviest defeat, suffered at the hands of Malawi in the opening game of this year's COSAFA Cup, and may suffer at the hands of Malawi at the top of the group in the overall picture when all is said and done. For this tournament, they've had 20 matches where they've failed to score in the past. Change being made here, and it's Malawi that will have Mapemba replacing Nkoma. So there he is, new man on the field, Mapemba, making his debut for the national team. He's still a young man, William Shonge, and he'll be hoping to go on and make a name for himself. Just being Mapemba.
You see, the thing is about starting young. You remain young in the face of the people. There's a player, a Malawian player, that now is retired. That's how old he is. But they still call him Young Chimoti. You remember him. He actually came to South Africa and played for Santos.
Chimoti.
Yes. He's retired now.
There's a famous cowboy from back in the day. There's been movies made about him and so on. Books written about him. He's a bit of an outlaw, named Billy the Kid. I'm sure he stopped being a kid sometime into his career as an outlaw, but he'll forever be referred to as Billy the Kid, you know what I mean? Space to turn here. Here's another that's had a stunning game in the middle of the park. Idana, he has been equally as important to the cause here as Nkoma. His ball over to this near side, and well, here he is now looking to get in amongst the scorers. Important block at the top of the box. Well, they're still pushing. Still want their third. interesting enough, only Gabadinho Mango is the only Malawian to have gone down to have scored a hat-trick in 2016 against Angola. And hopefully entertaining showing then for Mango, who of course will go down as one of the greats as well from a Malawian point of view with what he's done for the national team. So change being made here. Another player somewhere that's been impressive is Kawanga, who will be making way.
Coach took a little too long to make those changes. If you have a quality player like that, then that you'll need also going into the next game. You start removing them a little bit earlier so that there's still a little bit left in the tank. I mean, the third game becomes a very big challenge when it comes to recovery. You can play 1 and 2, but the third game is challenging for the players.
For the Seychelles, the top goal scorer ever in the COSAFA Cup, Ziela with 4 goals. Biggest win, a 7-0 win over Mauritius. Heaviest defeat, 6-0 defeat at the hands of Zimbabwe in 2018. Again, just a 1 win for them in their COSAFA history. Can they get one more here? Malawi is still pushing forward. Nicely done in keeping it moving. Mwasa now with a bit of time and space, looking to this near side. Impressive touch. Beautifully done on the near side. The early ball in. Not angled well enough to give those inside the box a chance to get onto the end of it.
I don't think he took he took a second or so to look up to see where the runs are. That clearly was heat in the hope that somebody will get to the end of it when the runners were a little bit narrow.
They are having a ball. Well worth the trip to the stadium for them. Last time around, and even better this time around with 1 more goal scored by Malawi. And well, we look forward to seeing them in the next match against the Comoros and hope to be entertained by them. Shongwe making his way down to the post-match interviews. Oh, those fans still, top of your picture, going around the Kings Wellington pitch, if you will. Well, it's been tough going for the Seychelles. Hard to be able to create clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. No test. Montali, yeah, they are pushing forward, hoping for that moment. The shots wide of Montali's goal. Last minute of 90, plus whatever will be added on to the 90 minutes here. Malawi looking to keep the clean sheet going into their last game. Had a clean sheet in the previous encounter against the Zambians as well. All of those little factors will, of course, count in their favor when one looks back at their performances so far, what they've been able to do on the front foot, who they've been able to do it against, and also the fact that defensively they haven't been bridged as yet. Minutes added on to the 90. Foul committed then by Kumwembe. Had a good game here, the pick number 9. Thrown their body about and made life difficult for the likes of Meli and Ballet in the central defensive areas for the Seychelles. Worked tirelessly throughout the evening. Well, the decision will go with the Seychelles here. Still will be important for Malawi to keep that clean sheet, so they won't want to give too much away. That's where the initial foul happened, the little nudge by Kumwembe on the back of the captain Meli. Has been battered and bruised by the striker. They've been at it all game long, those two. Shoulder seems to be a problem. Well, for Vivian Boss, as soon as Malawi scored, I'm sure the writing was on the wall here with the way Malawi had been going about business. They were always favored to score again. He would have wanted his side to frustrate the Malawians and stay disciplined. They did for as long as they could, but eventually they were broken down here. You can see the effects physically this game has had on some of his players. None come tougher than Meli, and he's already suffering. For Patrick Mabedi, he wants his players to stay switched on in the last minute of play here. He loved the intensity they've brought through to this game, how they've maintained it right through from the early stages. And of course the fact that they did get the goals they were looking for, and the fashion in which they've gone about picking up this win. They've certainly sent through a statement to the rest of the teams in the tournament that they are a team to be reckoned with, the Malawians. Beaten the defending champions. Done away with Seychelles, currently top of their group. Up against the Comoros next. And they'll be looking to maintain their clean sheet record in their third game, including their 100% win record, which stays true. Can't help but take them seriously going forward. So there you have it. Second round of matches in Group B is decided then. It's Kumwembe and Koma that score the goals that matter for Malawi, but it's the way they go about business in ripping into their opponents here and ensuring they pick up an impressive 3-point haul. They maintain the 100% record and are making quite a statement of Patrick Mabedi's men. They are to be taken seriously. They are a threat by the look of it, and will go into the third round of matches top of their group. For Seychelles, well, they frustrated Malawi for as long as they could, but eventually they were broken down here and just didn't have the quality to match their opponents. Also, there was plenty of passion from those that are coming from the stands backing Malawi, who made for a lovely atmosphere here in the game of the day. At the end of it all then, after a thoroughly entertaining 90 minutes of Southern African football here at the King, at the stadium that's of course entertained us so much in so far in this COSAFA Cup, it's Malawi that walk away 2-0 winners over Seychelles. So, highlights. And, well, it's all Malawi here as they look to find those opening. That's Saizi with the shot that was well blocked. Lovely skill, though, to create the opportunity. And, well, he was hoping to open the scoring at the King Zwelithini Stadium. Saizi, it wasn't to be. Good hard running, impressive stuff here from Koma in the first half, and looking for Kumwembe. Couldn't turn it goalwards, keeper did just enough then, as they kept asking questions of Seychelles. So unlucky keeper with an important save then. There was the touch in there from Kumwembe. Thought he had scored on that occasion. So, good, strong, hard running from Gawonga, and the ball across was inch perfect. 1-0 it was, and Nkoma, the man who'd open the scoring. And, well, they deserved this goal, did Malawi. They always looked aside, looked good to find the back of the net, and when they did, it was impressively done in the combination play between the two here, Gawonga as well as Nkoma. And ball over the top here, and good work to keep it alive and keep the pressure on. Nkoma with the shot from a difficult angle, parries into the path of Kumwembe, who grabbed the second, and at that point the writing was on the wall. And Malawi were very much on their way to picking up another batch of 3 points. Numbers very much in favor of one side here. The goal attempts, shots on targets, and just about everything else points towards Malawi and the comfortable win. 2-0 the win at the end. And Seychelles, will try as they might, they just didn't have enough in matching Malawi on the day.
Miss Indira Albakeki, Senior Soccer Sponsorship Coordinator of Hollywood Bets, is here to do the honors. Please present the Player of the Match award, and to Kawonga, of course. Kawonga, you know what, if you look at the overall numbers of this game, you guys should have led at least by 5 goals, but it wasn't. Only 2. What would have gone wrong?
Yeah, thank you for the winning man of the match. It was not easy about this team because he was just sitting at the back, but we managed it to get 2 goals.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And hopefully this will take you to the semi-final spots, and who knows what can happen.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Vivian, of course, the coach of the Seychelles is here as well. Coach, I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Yes, you lost 2-0, but a great performance by the players. You must be encouraged about that.
Yes, I'm quite happy with the performance.
Yes.
And we conceded 2 goals a bit that we could have not let it be.
But not enough going forward. I think, was it the pressure they created, or was it again just the players not being up to the task? But defensively, you were excellent.
And anyway, I watched Malawi playing before.
Yes.
So if we try to play an open game,
yes,
they
they'll
will
hurt
have
you.
yeah. So we try to take the pressure and go for counter, but sometimes it does not work for us.
Last game is coming up. What can you promise the fans at home who are watching?
As it's last game and we are already out, so we will try to go a bit forward against Zambia.
Give the other players that didn't get a chance to play to at least get the feeling of playing in this competition.
Definitely, we have only 2 players that have not been playing so far, so all our players will have a chance to play.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And Patrick Mapedi is coming up next, the winning coach from Malawi. Pat, once again I was saying to Kawonga, if you look at the numbers, the stats, the ball position, the entries, and the chance taken that is in front of goal, all in favor of Malawi, but 2-0 is still not a good enough score for those chances created.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We deserve to have more goals. We created so many chances. We should finish this game first half. I think, like I said earlier, I think the mentality that we undermined, and we were surprised that first half it was 0-0. And I have to shake them in the change room, and I think second half it was a different game. So I need to thank them. At least they did what they're supposed to do first half. But congratulations to the boys here, and I need to thank also the supporters that have come here in numbers and try to support us.
You are the first team to get to 6 points. Congratulations.
No, thank you so much. It's good to have a clean sheet because we know we'll get a chance to score. But thank you so much.
Best of luck.
Thanks. Thank you.
So there you have it, the results for the day. Then Zambia beating Comoros 2-1, and Malawi walking away winners 2-0 against the Seychelles. So what that means is Malawi will stay top of the group. Yeah, they've got the 100% record, while Comoros and Zambia are stuck on 3, and Seychelles are yet to pick up a point. It makes things interesting with Malawi to play against the Comoros and Zambia to play against Seychelles in the last of the group matches. Tomorrow, we're at the Princess Makoko Stadium. We leave the Kings Wellington Stadium, and we'll have Angola up against Mauritius at 3 o'clock, and Mozambique taking on Lesotho at 6 o'clock. We hope you've enjoyed the football that's been on show today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll be live from the Princess Makoko Stadium. Wamash.